Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. I got some elitism, I got some rudism, I got some demandism. Yep, I got all of the isms today. Those probably aren't real words, but they're not. But that's what we got today, all rolled into the 3 comments that we have for you. So let's jump right on into these comments. Now, I understand that you may meet people on a cruise ship that you don't care for, that you wouldn't socialize with or hang out with in any other type of situation. I get that. You have people from all different walks of life on board a cruise ship. But with that said, you also have people from all different walks of life in different places around the world on a cruise ship. And so should you really get on a cruise ship with this kind of like Americanism idea in your mind that I am an American? That makes me so much better than everybody else, because that's kind of the impression I got from this comment, that maybe they felt they were above other people. I don't know. Let's take a look at it and you guys can decide with me. We should never be forced to sit with strangers who you will probably not get along with. Last time out on Panorama ship, we opted for late seating dinner. We are Americans, so you would think that Carnival would put us with others from the U.S. You would be mistaken, because we were put at a table with 3 people from blank, and they were rude and just all around horrors. We couldn't get away from them fast enough. We would see them everywhere. They would stop and tell us to come have drinks with them. We hated this, and it ruined our cruise experience. We would just say quick hello and keep moving. They were so obnoxious. He didn't let anyone else talk, even though his mouth was full of food when he was trying to give us all an opinion. It is then time for Carnival to ditch the early late options and let other people eat with their own friends and their own family only. So let's break down this particular comment. Now, I get if you don't want to sit at a table with people you don't know. You can request a table just for your group. If there's just the 2 of you, you can request a 2-top table. You don't have to sit with strangers. It's not a requirement. Even if you have early dining, late dining, or anytime dining, you can always request a table for 2 or just a table for your party. So that stuff, you know what, I understand. And I get the fact that you may not want to sit with others. My issue with the comment are things like, we are Americans. Why would you sit us with people who aren't Americans? Why would you get on a ship that's full of people who aren't from America? That would be my first question. If you only want to sit with Americans, then maybe you don't leave America. Now, they felt they were rude and they were horrors and they just couldn't wait to get away from them, just to run away. But it didn't stop at dinner. The horrors continued. They saw these people around the ship. These people stopped. These people said hello. These people invited them to come have a drink. Oh my God, the horrors of getting invited to go have a drink with other people on the cruise ship. And it was so bad that they got asked to have a drink that it ruined their vacation. It ruined their cruise experience. So again, you may not like everybody on the ship. You may not get along with everybody on the ship. You may not want to have a drink with some folks. You just say, no thank you, and you move about your business. It's really that easy. It's really that simple. You're not forced to socialize with people, but it's really a whole comment about how you thought people were rude, they were horrors, and they invited you for a drink is really all that necessary. And to say that the scheduled dining, the early dining and the late dining, Carnival just needs to absolutely do away with it because they don't like it. They don't agree with it. You know, forget the people that do select early dining. Do forget the people that select late dining on purpose. Those people, they don't matter because these particular people don't like it. Maybe that's why you have 3 choices: early, late, or anytime. And finally, if you don't want to be on a ship with people that come from all places around the world, you know, especially crew members from all around the world, then perhaps cruising is not the vacation for you. But Let me throw it over there to you guys. What do you guys think? Should they do away with early dining and late dining? And do you think it was an absolute horrible cruise experience for another group of people on board the ship to ask them out for a drink? You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, things change on cruise ships. Spaces change, they get redesigned. You know, there could be a spot on a cruise ship that you really like, you really enjoy, but if it's not used by a lot of people, there's a chance that the cruise line is going to put something else there. In this case, we're talking about libraries on board a ship. Yep, people do like the library. It is a quiet spot. You can go sit down, you can relax, you maybe get some work done. But cruise lines do keep track, and they pay attention to what spaces are utilized on ships more than others. And if they find a space that's not utilized by a lot of passengers, well, then there's a chance that they're going to take it off the ship. They're going to turn it into something else. A good example of that is a lot of ships used to have chapels on board, and you'll notice those are getting less and less and less. Why? Because they just were not utilized, and the cruise lines have reallocated that space. Now, it is perfectly okay to say, you know what, I want to write in a comment and suggest that maybe you don't do this. Maybe there's enough people that might agree with me that the cruise line would consider, you know, stopping a certain thing, maybe keeping a certain space on board. That I completely understand. But if you're going to do that, you don't fill it full of demands, you don't fill it full of disrespect, you don't fill it full of rudeisms, and then think that anybody on the other end would even give you the time of day. But this person, they thought that that was the way to go. A question of importance for you. We only cruise with Carnival Cruise Lines because of our children and our grandchildren. We should be respected. Libraries are disappearing from all of your ships. Only Blank seems to be building new ships with libraries and not removing them from older vessels during dry dock. Why? You may not have an open as well as an adult mind to discuss this with any comprehension. Whom should I be sending this to who will listen? Who should I send this to that will listen? Well, look, I don't know who you should send it to, but I definitely got a pretty good idea of where you can stick it. I get that you like the library. I get that you want libraries to stay, and I understand that you're not the only one that likes libraries out there. People do find it a nice, quiet place to hang out and get maybe a little work done, read a little book, maybe play some games. Completely understand all that. But why even put the sentence in your comment? We should be respected. What part of this comment has earned you any respect? Then to put in there, well, you probably don't have an adult mind that's open and you wouldn't be able to discuss this type of thing with any comprehension. Rudeisms. So exactly why I said at the very beginning, I know where you can stick this particular type of comment. Because look, if you want a cruise line to make a change, if you are suggesting a change, you don't do it with this kind of attitude. But let me throw it over there to you guys. What do you guys think? Libraries should stay, libraries should go. And if you got this type of comment, would you even bother to give it the time of day? So you're on board a cruise ship, something's happening, you don't like it, you got a noisy neighbor. Why is telling someone your status on board the cruise ship, I'm diamond, immediately the first thing you feel like you need to do? Do you think that makes you more important? That makes your situation more important than anybody else on the cruise ship? I do not understand why a comment in a conversation has to be started out with, we are diamond. That's exactly how this one goes. Carnival needs to tell passengers that if they slam the balcony door, they will be fined. My mom and me are both diamond. We are again on the Carnival Mardi Gras. It is our 4th time on the ship this year. The people going in and out of cabin Blank let their door slam every time, and it shakes our beds. They just did this again now. It is almost midnight. I called the guest services. Can you imagine you accidentally let your door slam and Carnival, any cruise line, gives you a fine for that? I would like to hear how people would react if they find out the new fine on cruise ships is for slamming doors. That part, I find funny. I understand if someone just slams their door over and over and over again, that gets annoying. I completely understand that. And yep, if it's an issue and it's a real problem, you know, not just something that happens, but a constant again and again problem, yep, you call down to guest services. Now in this case, guest services did reach out to these people and let them know, hey, you got a noise complaint, you need to stop slamming your door. Okay, you got to be a little more quiet about it. Maybe they were first-time cruisers. Maybe they didn't know that those doors can echo a couple cabins down if you bang them too loud. Don't know why they were doing it. All right, I do know that, yes, you should have called guest services. Yes, guest services reached out and told them to stop. But what does your loyalty status of being diamond have anything to do with it? Why going, but this is our 4th time on this ship this year, so we are entitled to have it the way we want it. That's what I take from that. And finally, the comment, they just did it again. It's almost midnight. And the way they wrote that sounds like they obviously might have been awake, because apparently they hopped right up and wrote a comment in right then and there, thinking that that was going to solve the problem. So again, it's not a problem that someone was making noise and they called guest services. It's the way they write these comments in. It's their attitude about when they write these comments in. I'm diamond. I sailed 4 times. They should receive a fine because it disturbs me. You're just never going to get anywhere in this world. You're never going to get anywhere with those folks down at guest services. You're never going to get anywhere with customer service when you act this way. Every single time I've ever had an issue on a cruise ship, which isn't very often, I go down to guest services. I talk to them. I'm polite. I'm nice. I'm not mad at the person behind the counter. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't cause the problem. You just politely explain it to them. Hey, I got these folks. They're next door. They slam their door a whole lot. Could you do me a favor and reach out to them maybe and ask them not to do it? Let them know that it echoes up and down and it's disturbing those around them. That's all you have to say. My loyalty status wasn't required. How many times I've sailed on the ship isn't required. Because at the end of the day, none of that matters. You're no more important than the people in the cabin next to you. But once again, let me throw it over there to you guys. Do you think these types of comments are even appropriate? Is this the right way to approach any situation? Or maybe you should go with the old saying, if you can attract more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. And that's going to be our video today for what every cruiser wants. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think. Are these people right? Are these people wrong? I think their attitudes are utterly wrong. They may have legitimate They may have legitimate issues that they would like taken care of. But once you approach a situation in the way that some of these people do, you're just not going to get a whole lot of help, at least in my opinion. I hope everyone out there has enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.